NFL trade deadline grades, Cowboys flop. Missed cheetah opportunity. As the trade deadline passed, several teams made moves to bolster their rosters for the stretch run. Some moves were solid, others questionable. Here's a breakdown of notable trades and some deals we wish had gone down. Jonathan Mingo trade. Cowboys flop. Deal. Cowboys acquired Jonathan Mingo and a 2025 7th-round pick from the Panthers for a 2025 4th-round pick. Grade. Cowboys, D. Panthers, B+. The Cowboys' trade for Mingo is a head-scratcher. Dallas traded a 4th-round pick for a wide receiver who has yet to score a touchdown in his career and has struggled to make an impact. Mingo, a 2nd-round pick in 2023, has underperformed with just 121 receiving yards this season, despite being on a Panthers team in need of weapons. To make matters worse, he was still 4th on their depth chart. In the context of the Cowboys' season, where they still have high expectations despite struggling, this move feels like a poor allocation of resources. The Cowboys were hoping to develop Mingo into something more, but with their current roster construction and a season on the line, this trade feels like an unnecessary risk. On the flip side, the Panthers come out looking great here. They received a 4th-round pick for a player who was barely used. And they got rid of someone who clearly wasn't a fit for their rebuilding plan. It's a solid win for Carolina, considering they got more for Mingo than they did for Diontae Johnson, who has been much more productive. Za'Darius Smith trade. Lions add pass rush help. Deal. Lions acquire Za'Darius Smith and a 2026 7th-round pick from the Browns for a 2025 5th-round pick and a 2026 6th-round pick. Grade. Lions, B-. Browns, C+. The Lions were wise to address their pass rush, especially with Aiden Hutchinson suffering a leg injury in October. Smith, 32, may not have the same level of explosiveness he once did, but he can still provide valuable pressure. And his veteran leadership will be crucial in stabilizing the Lions' defense. The price was modest, and Detroit didn't need a long-term solution here, just a short-term fill-in to boost their defensive line. The Browns, meanwhile, shed some salary and get a decent return for a player they didn't need to keep. They get some future capital, but it's a mild win, as Smith's best years seem behind him. Mike Williams trade. Steelers take a shot on the big target. Deal. Steelers acquire Mike Williams from the Jets for a 2025 5th-round pick. Grade. Steelers, B. Jets, B-. This trade is a gamble, but one that makes sense for the Steelers. Williams is a big-bodied receiver who can stretch the field, and he could complement George Pickens as a downfield threat. With quarterback Russell Wilson at the helm, Pittsburgh has been looking to increase their passing game efficiency, and Williams could provide that additional boost if he stays healthy. The price is reasonable for a player with such upside, especially since Williams is still a physical mismatch when healthy. For the Jets, who gave up Williams after a major ACL injury, it's a fair return. They clear some salary cap space and get a late-round pick. But it's hard not to think that a healthy Williams could have been more valuable to their offense. Trades we'd like to have seen. Tyreek Hill to the LA Chargers. The Chargers, despite sitting at 5-3, could have used a big-time receiving threat like Tyreek Hill to complement Justin Herbert's arm strength. With Keenan Allen and Mike Williams both out for stretches this season, Herbert could have benefited immensely from Hill's elite speed. A partnership between Hill and Herbert would have been dangerous. The Chargers' conservative approach to the deadline may come back to haunt them, as they need more explosive plays to compete with top-tier teams. Jonathan Jones to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs needed help at cornerback after losing L'Jarius Sneed and dealing with injuries in their secondary. Jonathan Jones, a veteran who could have bolstered their defensive backfield, was available, but the Chiefs missed their chance to make this move. A healthy Jones could have been a perfect addition to a defense that's been exposed this season. A missed opportunity for Kansas City, especially with the AFC title race heating up. Conclusion. The Cowboys' missed opportunity. While several teams made solid moves at the deadline, the Cowboys' trade for Jonathan Mingo is a puzzling one. With the team's window narrowing, the move didn't seem to address their most pressing needs for 2024. Mingo may develop into a decent player down the line, but in the here and now, Dallas might have been better off standing pat or looking for more immediate help. On the other hand, the Panthers came away with a win, shedding a non-impact player for valuable draft capital. Ultimately, as the NFL trade deadline wraps up, it's clear that some teams were thinking long-term, while others were trying to shore up their current rosters for a playoff push. In a league where the balance between now and later is so fragile, only time will tell who came out on top.